So, friends, good morning and thank you and appreciate you for attending this webinar in spite of your tight schedule. I thank Anil Kumar first for giving me an opportunity to conduct this webinar. Though it was a last minute projection, I think I will do the best from my whatever the knowledge I have got. Please excuse me in case of anything. So, friends, do you think that this pandemic has made us think twice before taking a leap? Do you agree with me? If so, please raise your hands. Thank you. Friends, do you think that this is the right time for us to think out of the box if at all we have to come back to normalcy? Because the whatever pro-pandemic, whatever the benefits we had, the life change, whatever we were enjoying, that is not going to be there for another 4-5 years. It is completely changed now. The whole scenario of life has completely changed. Now we are into a new normal, and we are still not in a position to know what the new normal is going to be also. We are in such a unpredictable condition. So it is high time we think out of the box. This is the right time to think, analyze things before taking any chances or choices in our life. So based on that, this is the reason I have taken this entrepreneur growth mastery. This is this thing. I will just open my. Do you see this thing here? Sorry, 1 minute. Share screen.
Share the screen.
Yeah. So, friends, do you see this thing? PPT?
Yes.
My audio is clear,
Yes.
madam?
Yes, yes.
My story. Yes.
My story. So, are you all interested in hearing some of my story? Because I
Sir, on the Rajaji, just put on the slide share, no? Slideshow.
Slideshow. Okay. Yeah. So, friends, before starting, the reason, see, this is my online course which I'm proposing to start. I want to make this as my niche, entrepreneur growth mastery. So, the reason why I'm taking this is, see, as you all know, I have got 2 engineering children. So, I will go back to 2009-10. 2009-10, we had recession. So I had a good business. Actually, I had a thriving business of international package tours and all those things. And it was really good. But unfortunately, once the recession came in, the business came back to 50%. It was very tough for me to maintain both my children's education and because I was still living in a rented house. So I am the lone breadwinner of the family. It was very difficult for me to meet the ends meet. So such a scenario in 2009 and 10, after this one of my eldest son, had completed his engineering, 4th year of engineering. And my second son was into 1st year of engineering. A situation was created wherein I had no money to pay with them for the admission and all. It was a very tough time for me. Then I decided I had a Santro car with me, which I sold it. Because there was no alternative for me. And one of my friends was very much interested in my car because I maintained the car in a very beautiful way. It was very much behind that car. I want that car, man, give me. So I found an opportunity that time. I sold that car. Because at that time, I had only one choice. And I was already in a debt of almost 11 EMIs I was paying during that. I had 11 EMIs. I had 5 credit card bills. A credit card, 2 personal loans, car loan, bike loan, gold loan, whatever loan you sell, I had it. So that was the situation I was in actually. I was in a very bad situation. Critically, I was in a economically very bad situation. I was completely there. In the meantime, I had to take care of my children, not only for the food, clothing, shelter, but also for the education. So as a lower breadwinner, and particularly in Bangalore, any city for that matter is very expensive. And it became very tough during that time. And somehow I sold that car because for me, my children's education was more important than my car, owning my car. So I sold it and I got that money. Immediately I got that money. I paid both my son for my fourth semester of my elder son and for first year of my second son. So they got into the college, and then fourth year, my son next year, 2011, my son came out of the college. But he did not opt for that college or campus interview and all they have. No, he did not opt for it because he did not want to go for software engineering and something, software job. So because he was in the electrical and electronics engineering. So what he did, he just did not go for interviews. And after completion of his project and all those things, he over 2-3 months he couldn't get a proper job. He was struggling. So I was also waiting as a middle class man. You know, we parents, what we do, we always pay them to the maximum whatever we have got. And we are once the children are out, we want them to come out of the, because we will always be in debt. Most of the parents I can will relate to me in this way. Because we would have already spent most of the money, and I am in such a catch situation wherein I have to. I was expecting some money from my son, my elder son, so that he will help me in my this thing. But unfortunately, he did not get a job initially. 2-3 months he struggled. Then the project where he did the guide, he gave me he tried seeing his plight. He introduced him to a. Though I had so many friends of mine, who are in the industries who got 300-400 employees on that. But nobody helped me. The reason God only knows. Because you know, when too many close friends also, they think that, oh, this fellow is a close friend of mine. If I employ this his son, he may not be, he may not obey me or something like that. Some obligations will be there, so they cannot throw him out or something like that. They did not encourage. So I also did not compel them also in the meantime. So when the guide, he helped him. But the guide helped him to get a job. But he did not. But he can only help him for a job. But he cannot ask more salary. My son was pleading for 8,000, 10,000 rupees salary. You imagine, as a parent, I spent lakhs of rupees on his education, engineering education, and for 8,000, 10,000 rupees was pleading. I was literally disturbed completely. Why? Because we with so much of expectation we send our children. See, this is a scam. What our colleges are doing is they are creating engineers and sending out to the market, but they are not employable. First of all, most of let's say 85% of the engineers who come out of the colleges are unemployable. This is a precarious condition. Why should we invest money? It's a scam. Then okay, then something around 30,000 rupees was given, and he took the job. But I was already in debt, so I cannot take, because I cannot put my burden on my son also. So what I did not. Then immediately I thought, no, if I continue with the business, what I'm doing, because till then I was only a sole proprietor and I was only running a company, and I was never working under anybody. A situation was created wherein I had to sacrifice something. My father had already told me in my younger days that never work for anybody. Be a boss of your own, never work for anybody, and you have to be your own. You should be a proprietor or businessman, whatever it is. Don't work for under anybody. And he was a businessman till the end. He told the same. So we also imbibe the same values from my father. But a situation created wherein I couldn't continue with the same values. So one of my sister, who is in a corporate, she introduced me to a real estate agency. It's a real estate company, a big company. There I joined as a license officer, and they were seeing my potential and my background and all those things. They immediately took me, and I did a good job. Almost 6 to 7 years I worked there in that company. And that company, once I was working, I had some this thing. So I was not putting the burden on my son. At the same time, because I was getting a little bit of salary, regular income was coming, so I was able to clear. I took all the credit cards and all. I paid. I took 50%, 60%. I told them I'm going to clear it off. I just took a commitment and paid it off. Now I took almost 3, 4 to 5 years to clear that, to come out of that debt. It was almost 25 to 30 lakhs I had a debt. And of course, my son, elder son also, but he was getting, first year started with 12,000, then he started with 15,000, not 12, 14, 15, 16, like that. I had a commitment of 70 to 80,000 per month. That was my commitment. You imagine, just for 12,000 rupees, I could not have survived. So, by God's grace, anyway, I came out of all this problem, all the liabilities are cleared from this thing, and I came out of it. Second son also came out of the fourth year of the this thing. But of course, he wanted to go into software. He went to Accenture, the college campus. He got an interview and he got through the interview and he was selected. But for 4-5 months after his graduation, also after getting his certificate, also he was not called in for the job. We were in a dilemma whether he will definitely get a job or not. And after 4-5 months, they called him. Then another 6 months, 6 to 7 months, he was in the bench. You don't know that they only put them into bench. He was only basically the bench. And after the 6 months, he got some project was on him, and he got into a job, the project. And 1.5 years he worked actually. He was sincere chap and he worked very well. But there was some politics within him and the team manager or something like that. He did not give him the appraisals he was supposed to get and all those things. He harassed him to the maximum. And he told one day, Dad, what is this? See, I became a mechanical engineer. Here I am doing a copy-paste job. Whatever I studied is completely different. What I am doing here is completely different. It is a precarious condition. I don't want to continue this. Then I told, okay, then if you're not comfortable with it, and he told, this is not going to, I'm not going to prosper from this profession. If I'm continuing with this copy-paste job, it's not going to continue. So I don't want to continue. He was adamant. I told, okay, if you're not adamant, no problem, please come home. So he just resigned his job, came back. 3-4 months he waited, he could not get a job. After that, he saw the advertisements and the data scientist and all. If you do so, data scientist, you will get 2.5 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs and all. So he got into that course also. Almost 1.5 lakhs he spent on that. 6 months he studied night and day. He got through that. He got the certification also. Even after 6 months after, whenever he goes for an interview, they were telling, we want, okay, we got all the credentials, but we want 2 to 3 years of experience. Imagine the condition. Oh, people are due to the core and parents are put into problem, children are put into problem. The problem is, we think that by getting a certification, our children will be settled. But they're not getting settled. They not only become a burden for themselves, that is a precarious condition. And they get into disturbance, they get into depression because they are not able to support their parents. That is wrong. So then I decided, many parents are like me who are struggling like this. They send because we are, as a middle class people, we have got only mechanical engineering or lawyer or BSc, BCom. Some courses we don't have options also. Other than that, because as a middle class, we want to give them the best education. We send them to the best college. We will send them to the best university. We spend lakhs of rupees on that. And ultimately, when they are coming out of that, they are not even given the courtesy also. 8,000, 10,000, they bargain. These children have to beg with these people. Are we creating we are creating a bad impression on our children. And see, we don't want our children to be a beggar in front of anybody. But when it comes to the company, when they are going to a company and they are working, they are made in such a way that so much of politics happens in the company, they are not able to come out. They are not inspired to do the job. They only do just for the sake of survival. And we are not born for survival. That's what I want to say here. We are not here for survival. We are born to thrive. God has given us unlimited capacity. God has given us everything to do. But we are not doing it because first of all, the education system has only made us an employment. They only say you go, you after your certification, you get a good job. After a good job, you get married. You have to get married, you purchase a EMI loan on a house, EMI on a car. Everything you purchase on EMI, 25 years you get committed to that. And 25 years you not enjoy life at all ultimately. You are only into the rat race. You don't know where you are going. You don't know the purpose of your life. You don't know what you have to do. And you are stuck. You are completely stuck in that dilemma. You don't know where to go. You are in the chain reaction. See this pandemic also. Many people have lost their jobs. What is the certification doing with them? So now this is the right time for us as trainers and trainers and coaches. This is the right time for us to create online courses wherein children are motivated to different level. Our education system has not given us the basics of life, the purpose of life. Why I am born in this world? What is my purpose? What is that I have to achieve? I am not here to only make money and look after my wife, children. No, I've got a lot of work to do. God has sent me with some purpose. But am I doing that purpose only at the fag end of the year like me? Most of us realize that yes, what we have done only for our family. I have taken wife of my for parents, I have taken wife of my wife, I have taken wife of my children, but ultimately I have not done anything to the society. I become a selfish fellow. That is not life. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says is that charity or philanthropy is not your obligation, man. It is your duty. Do it. Your life has been given to you so that you are of some useful to somebody else also. Don't be so selfish. You have become so selfish. And now with this pandemic, we are starting realizing what self is about. What is humanity? What is the basics of life? We have started understanding only after this present. So this is my little story. So based on that, I wanted to. I really have a great anger towards our education system. Education system has completely fooled us. They are not giving us the correct, proper guidance. What children have to do, what they have to do. We go to a professional course, they are not getting jobs. And ultimately what happens, the parents start blaming the children also. That I have given you the education. If he is getting a job, he will definitely go for a job. If he is not interested in the job, if he is not getting a job, we cannot blame the children also. And as a parent, we should also realize that it is not only engineering or a lawyer or any BSc or BCom is only a master degree or MBA was only give you a job. Why you want to create your own life? Life is about creation. It is you create your own life. God has given us to create our life, but we are only chasing life. Somebody has to take care of us. So that is it. Sorry. So this is my thing. So what is the goals of life? What is the goal? Not for goals of life. Everything you should have everything in congruent to each other. Health and fitness, social and recreation, money and finances, business and career, contribution. Contribution is also important. Whatever you do, spirituality, that's also important. Family and relationships. So only when all these things are incongruent to each other, you can have a perfect life. Otherwise, you will have a scattered life only. You will not have life which you plan. You dream something, you do something, you are in something, and you are in confused state. That is what is happening. Only when all these things, health and fitness, social, money, business, contribution, spirituality, family, personal growth, everything is congruent to each other. Everything matches each other. Then only you will have that life thriving life. Otherwise, it will be a confused life. What are the myths? Normally, we have got a lot of myths in life also. I am not enough. I cannot do this. This is not the right time to do this. Let a good time come, that I will do it. I don't have the capacity. So we have got our own misbelief. We don't believe in ourselves. So these are all the myths. Money is not everything in life. Money is not everything in life, but money you have to earn. Because without money also you can't earn. When you earn more money, you try to give it to somebody else also. No, what is that? It's not that only you have to earn money for your own self. When you earn in excess, you can also share it with people who are underprivileged, who do not have money, who do not have 2 meals a day. Some people strive for 2 meals a day. If we can help them, God will bless us. That is my decision. I want to get things perfect. Perfection is never there in lifetime also. We should also understand that. Perfection. 1 minute. Screen sharing. Where's this one, man? Rich people are bad, greed and cheater. I am contented. Business means loss and risk. Business means we have got the negativity. Oh, business means only loss. We cannot make money. In employee also there is a problem. As an employee also there is no guarantee in our parents and all. When once they get into a job, they were 58 years, they will get retired and they will have some sum of money for their after retirement also. The guarantee is not about that. Even in government there is no guarantee now. Government people also not getting the salaries properly. They are fighting for their salaries today. So there is no guarantee in the employee also. So business also has got problem. Employment also has got problem. But we can have to think in the next level. Fear of failure and embarrassment. We have that fear. No? If I fail, people, it will be embarrassing to me. People will not accept me. My family will outsource. Something like that. We always keep crippling. And that keeps us in the comfort zone. We don't go out of that success. what others will think, what others will think about me. So all these things are the myths. So for that, what you have to do is reprogram your mind. Get out of that comfort zone. Get out of all those things, negativity. I am enough. Yes, I can do it. I got the capacity. I got unlimited capacity. God has given me unlimited capacity. I can do it. If somebody else is doing as a businessman, somebody is making crores of rupees, even I can make it. It is not that only other person has a capacity, and God has given equal potential, equal capacity to each and every individual on this earth. The only thing we sacrifice ourselves, or we limit ourselves to a particular limit. Okay, 1 lakh is sufficient for me. 2 lakhs is sufficient for me. Okay, if I get 10 lakhs per month, is sufficient for me. We are limiting. Limitation we are creating. It is not the nature of God. That we should understand. I have unlimited potential. You have to program and you should think that I have got unlimited potential. I am a winner and want to win. I am born to win. I am a winner. I am already a winner. That you should believe. That belief will take you to the next level. I am unique and passionate. I am unique. I am as unique as my Thambi Krishna. I am unique and passionate also. I live a life of happiness. You should imbibe that one. Yes, I am living a life of happiness. Never crib about life. Whatever happens happens for a reason. Problems are there, solutions are there, everything has got. We should not crib. By cribbing, we are only reducing our life cycle. We are not increasing the life cycle. Never crib in life. Be grateful to whatever we have got. We should first be grateful to what we have got. I'll be a role model in my family. We have to come out of the comfort zone and prove to our family. As a middle class family, mostly I'm telling you. Not the lower or the higher end. Middle class families, we neither go to the higher level and we don't want to go to the lower level where we get stuck in between only. That is the main problem there. Don't do that. I transform a family person. So when I transform, it's not only I am transforming, I am only putting my family prospects into a better position also. That is the bigger picture which you have to visualize. I am possible. It is possible with me. I am possible. Next, take action. For that, take action. What you have to do? Have a regular routine. Have some discipline. Yeah, morning when you want, whatever time you get up, what you have to do meditation, yoga, exercise. Do everything. You stick on to your regular procedure. You do it sincerely. Then things will start happening. One day we do, 5 days we take rest, means automatically when we are not disciplined, we cannot expect discipline to happen to us. We should understand that. The more we are disciplined, the more we are ritual, the more we are ethical in our values, everything starts happening. But when we have our own self-doubt, we don't take action ourselves, we cannot blame the environment, we cannot blame others. Normally what we do, we only blame others. Problem is not with others. Problem is within us. When we change only, things will change outside. If we don't change, and we expect changes to happen outside, nothing will change in this way. Stick to your daily rituals. That's what I do. Whatever you do, stick to that. Don't get distracted by media. This is another great problem today. We have got so much of distraction. Early morning only we started good morning, good evening messages. I'm not saying don't do that, but you should have your potential depends is at its best only in the morning hours. Morning hours, you should up to 11 o'clock. Never go see media, never see paper, never go into any WhatsApp messages. What is best for you? What is best for your potential? Do that. Till 11 o'clock, it is your time for your development, for your potential. To upscale yourself, that is your time. If it up to morning hours, if you waste yourself with all these unwanted things, the whole day will go lost, and next day you will think, what happened yesterday? And every day will go like that only. And time is more important than money. Let's understand that. Time is even more important than money. At least money we can earn and spend, but time is, in pandemic times, how many people are no more here? So time is very, 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 very precious than money. Give value to time. Be inspired and active to accomplish. Be inspired. Be inspired. Morning when you get up, be an inspired person. Be happy. Yes, I'll do something today. I can do it something today. That is what is important. Don't bother what others will think of you. We normally have what that fellow will think of me, what this fellow will think of me, what my wife will think of me, what my son will, what you are born for your purpose of life. That is your core. You go for that. When you do something better, what are other people who are only shaming you or telling something wrong about you will automatically come to the terms and conditions, because they will understand, oh, this fellow is on the right path, man. Only I am in the wrong one. For that, we have to be a role model. For that, we have to take action. We should not bother about others. The more we bother about others and we don't take action, we are becoming jokers in front of other people. That we should understand. Never be a joker in front of other people. Never compromise on your goals. Whatever your goals, you may have different paths, but your goal is fixed. Never compromise on your dreams and your goals. That's most important. Be passionate at what you do. Whatever we do, no, we should have the passion. We should have the passion to do it. We should have the interest to do it. We should be inspired to do it. We should be motivated to do that. Then only we'll have good results. When we do it in the halfway through, 50-50, okay, if it happens, okay, if it doesn't happen, okay, means we are ourselves putting that in a different dilemma. Obviously, we cannot expect good results out of that also. Okay, summary. So, summary is anything and everything is possible. These are all the things we should believe. There is no pain, there is no gain. When you do exercise only, your body will come to the shape. If you don't do exercise and you want your body to come to shape, it's the same business also. If you have to, you should have some ethics, you should have the values, you should do it in a proper way. It is success. It will be successful, provided you do. And there's no shortcut to success also. We have to work for it. We should have steadfast focus, and our goal should be to aim and do it. That's most important. Be authentic in what you do. Be congruent for your thoughts, word, and use your thought, word, and action and your feelings. This should be congruent to each other. Then only you will have success. If you think something, if you speak something, and if you are feeling something, you are not congruent. When you are not congruent, you cannot expect miracles to happen. It will never happen. That is most important. Follow ethical methods to achieve your goals. We should have some ethics also. In business or in employee, whatever you do, you should have ethics, because you are answerable to yourself. You're not answerable to other person. Have ethics in whatever you do. Believe you are a winner in advance. Always believe I am already a winner. I am a winner. Simple. I am a winner. Someday I am a winner. Today, some things might not be as per my aims, but that doesn't mean I'm not a winner. I am already a winner. I'm again putting more effort to become a better winner. That's all. I'm already a winner. That is most important. Only when you believe to that core, you will become a winner. Be flexible in your path, but stringent in your goal. Be flexible. See, like in Google Map also, what happens? You want to go from point A to point B. What do? You fix a Google Map and you tell from this point to this point you go. It will see. Sometimes if there is an accident, we may go on a regular route, but it will divert it. It will divert to a different road, and then from there it will link to a different road. But you will reach your goal. The same way in business also, whatever we do, our path can be a little bit inflexible. But our goal should always be fixed. Once we have fixed the goal, we should attain it. We should attain it. That's all. Never say die attitude. This is most important. Whatever in business or anywhere, never feel that I cannot do that. Halfway through coming out of that, never do that. Once you put a foot forward, whether it is success or failure, do it. You will definitely get somewhere. You will get some pathway wherein you can always be successful. Tough times never lost, but tough people do. So this is the most important thing. Tough times never lost. Even this pandemic it will definitely pass. It's like a cloud. No cloud stands still. It keeps on moving. We are also like a cycle. When you are in a cycle, when you are moving, you go through. When you stop, you fall down. So in life also, you should never stop. Keep moving forward. Move forward. So keep on putting your step forward. Never keep it backward or never stand still. That only puts you into problem. Why entrepreneurship? What is that? See, post-pandemic, jobs are becoming scarce. Most of the jobs are not there. There are new engineers who are coming. They are not getting job. It is going to be a very tough question in the future. So that is one thing. Artificial intelligence will make most jobs automated. Already, in banks also, they are call center. You are not calling the call center. They say, press 1, press 2, press 3. You keep on pressing only. Before getting to the person, they are not even connecting. Ultimately, they give you suggestion or they give you answer within that mode and they send you off. And recently, you might have seen in mobile phone and all, we have got chatbot also. Sorry. Chatbot, whatever question, there are already questions there. Whatever you fix it, you ask the question, you will answer it. You don't have to go to the. So most of the jobs are being taken away. Like that, artificial intelligence is coming by 2030. Most of the jobs which we are today, which we are expecting our children will have tomorrow, it is going to be null and void. You are not going to have such jobs at all. Another 4 or 5 years, once artificial intelligence takes over, automation takes over completely, everything will be robotic. Even now, cars are coming with every 30 minutes or something, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, I don't know. One car is coming out of this thing. Do you think one car can come out of the manufacturing line just in 30 minutes? If a labor is involved, no, it's all robotic. It's completely robotic. They put something, everything is planned completely. It is completely automated, autopilot. One end it comes out, outside it comes along with the wheel, everything fixed. Only certain areas where man is required, they are using it. So they are almost 75% of the manual is completely gone. After artificial intelligence comes, jobs which are still existing will also get up income stars. So we have to take care now only. Otherwise, we are going to be into a lot of problem. Not only we are putting ourselves into problem, we are putting our children also into problem. Please think twice before that. Our school curriculum is not updated to the modern. Everything is information technology. Everything is available on Google. You don't have to learn that by heart that. And you don't have to. That's what information is, only one-way traffic. Our education system is only one-way traffic. The teacher tells you something that you have to by heart or write it and come out of this. And a certificate is given. Certificate has no value. After certification also, they say 85% of the people, engineers who are coming out of them are not employable base. Who they are fooling? We middle class, we are getting fooled. That the certificate will get you a job. The certificate means you will get the job and you will be settled in life. That's all. People are fooling us and we are still believing in them. When are we going to come out of this situation? Most important. Most of our graduates are unemployable as they do not possess soft skills. Soft skills are not done, are not taught in the schools. They don't teach anything. They don't teach our relationship. They don't teach finances. They don't teach how to lead life. What is the purpose of life? Nothing is taught. Algebra, trigonometry, that, this and all, which you never use in life. Permutation and combination. Are we doing all those things? Algorithm, our system, Amazon and all is using. But are we using it in our daily life? We are not using it. But we learn something which is not used in our daily life, and we get stuck here. Freedom to life and stressful lifestyle. If you become an entrepreneur, you have freedom of life. Of course, 1 or 2 years you have to struggle. Initially, first 2 years till you set up your business and make it a profitable entity, you have tough times. But you have to endure that. But the first 2 years, if you endure and come out as successful, your rest of your life will be successful and you will have a stressful free lifestyle. Otherwise, as an employee, 6 months he work here and then another appraisal, you will go to the next company, another 6 months or 1 year, he will throw you out of the company, another 1 year, you will not have a job. You run around where I am getting a job, will I get a job or not? The family is into problem. The whole family is depending upon you. And so much of stressful life. Why should you have that? If you become an entrepreneur, you are your own boss. Be your own boss. Think that way. It is easy. Nothing is easy in this world. Even an employer also, if you become an employee also, there whatever your boss says, you have to accept it. He may abuse you. He may ask you to work for 18 hours. There you are doing it. The same thing if you do in business, you become an entrepreneur. Yeah? Why are you not taking that risk? And money is not only criteria. It is only creativity. Many people think, oh, when your business means we should have a lakhs of no. If you can create something, if you got a good idea, if you can make it a product, and if you can make it a service and sell it, the market is accepting it. You should only create it. You should think. If you think only, that will happen. Love yourself and follow your passion and intuition to life. Love yourself. Believe in yourself, love yourself. Then everything will happen. Don't be a victim to corporate and job market. Never be. Let us, because at least post-pandemic, let us think in a different perspective and let us not be a victim to corporate and job market. Have a healthy, happy, and peaceful life. What you think is what you become. Believe you can, and your belief will succeed. What we sow is what we reap. Never give up in your dreams. Never be a victim to external factors and conditions. Your success is in your hands. Make it to thrive. You are unique as per your thumb impression. You are as unique as your thumb impression. Your comfort zone leads you nowhere. You should come out of a comfort zone. As long as you're in a comfort zone, you don't want to take risk, you don't want to means then you will only have the employee mindset and you will not come out of that comfort zone. And with the whole life you will have to struggle. And for struggle for somebody else, when you are making him a boss, in spite of not being your own boss. So that is the most important. Employer, both have got advantages, disadvantages. But where we have to make our life, that we have to decide. Somewhere we have to decide that. And this is pandemic times, I think it is the right time when we have to realize that, yes, no more I'm going to work for somebody and be an employee of somebody and make him rich. Let me become rich by doing the same thing what my boss is somebody is doing. And let me upgrade myself to a next level lifestyle. Okay. Entrepreneurship is your birthright if you believe in yourself. This is my quote. Entrepreneurship is your birthright if you believe in yourself. So thank you, my dear friends. Thank you for your patient hearing. I think I've taken a lot of time. I don't know how much time I spoke. Thank you. So this is my company, the details. Thank you. Are you all there or sleeping, boss?
You're all there.
Last
Nobody
year
is
there.
Let's give
Hello.
Everybody is alive and awake.
Raja,
Beautiful.
speaking, how can anybody go to sleep, yaar? How can you think also like that?
We can't dare
Nobody
to
can
sleep.
go to sleep when you are talking.
No daring.
kindly stop sharing the screen.
No, sorry, sir. Yeah. So
Excellent
this
presentation,
is my chow chow bath,
as usual.
which I made yesterday after 2 o'clock.
Huh?
This is my chow chow bath, madam. You know chow chow
Gottilla.
bath?
Nice,
Oh.
lovely.
Chaucho bath is,
No,
Raja,
I don't know. What
if
is chow?
Chaucho bath, if Chaucho bath means
Upma and Kesari bath
Upma
together.
and Shira.
Together.
Upma and Shira together.
Huh?
Upma and Shira.
Okay.
You have both small
Acha,
cup
Upma and
and eat.
Shira. Okay, okay. Upma and Shira together.
So that is Chaucho
Okay,
bath.
okay.
Raja, if Chaucho bath is so beautiful, how beautiful would be your 7-course dinner lunch with you?
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Raja. Beautiful.
There
Beautiful.
are
it.
certain points which I would like to, after whatever you spoke, you kindled my thoughts. First and foremost thing is, the earlier generation, many of us wanted to do a course. We could not do it. So we wanted our children to do the studies.
Yeah.
That was the first. Okay. Second thing is, the later generation, what they did, both husband and wife slogged so that they could put their children in the course which they would like to study. And they were only not having the time to spend quality time with their children to understand what exactly are their plus points and minus points. Okay, these are my thoughts. I'm just sharing it with you. Third and most important thing is, many of our younger generation people don't go out to the playgrounds like we used to go and play.
Yes, sir.
One day you win, one day you lose. So losing and winning is part of life.
Yes.
Our children, what they are doing is they are sitting in front of the computer,
Ah.
putting the winner their name, and then keep on winning. So they are not able to accept a loss or a defeat a failure at all. Mentally, they are not prepared.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you want people to take up entrepreneurship, like you very clearly said, it doesn't happen like that. You have to work yourself so hard for at least 3-4 years till you start reaping some rewards.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
during that time, you should never give up, and you should believe in yourself that you will be succeeding. Because you're not exposed to failure at all in your life, this comes as a shock to you, and you're not able to breathe. Oh my God, what is this? Why did I do it?
Correct.
So a number of times, that's why what many organizations, multinational corporations, what they are doing is, they are identifying some of these people who are having the creativity, who are interested in entrepreneurship. They are introducing these people as a team called intrapreneurship. That is, within the organization itself, they have people whom they provide money. They say, create products, create service, create. They fail. And one, it becomes a hit. Then they make up all the losses which
Yes,
they
yes.
suffered. Here, the biggest advantage for these guys for doing the entrepreneurship within the organization, which are entrepreneurs, is because they don't have to worry about resources. They don't have to worry about manpower, nothing. They have to just use their creativity and do it. So
Yeah.
that's why you find many organizations are using these, because they find this guy is having the intelligence, but he's scared to go out and
Yes.
start anything on his own. They are using him or her for improving their own. So this is the actual scenario. Nobody says that. And many times, some of my MBA students, I can tell you, when they join for the MBA course, their parents are asking them to go and work for 2-3 years. Take up the course. Why? Because you should now understand how to be an employee first, then become an employer. So these are some of the things that, I wanted to share with you and add whatever you said. So let's get that feeling that our children should go out and play, understand what is a defeat, what is the failure, what is losing. Only then they'll get that mental framework that when they do a business, they are likely, they may suffer a loss, they may fail.
Yes.
So this is what is the thing which we have to make sure, at least our children or grandchildren, in my case, we have to instill this. Life is two sides of the same coin. One is success, the other side is failure. This mental strength we have to provide to all our youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
True, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody would like to share their entrepreneurial experience? Please feel free, is what I was thinking.
Mr. Rao is there. Narendra Naik sir, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು?
ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದಾ?
Especially the point you touched about the normalcy before and after COVID. It is going to be the main deciding factor for the future life. So it more than any educational qualification and entrepreneurial education, more than anything, how to sustain in life.
Yes.
How to find new normal.
Yes.
So whatever, especially the people who have grown up to 2022 like that, they have seen before COVID luxuries. Now the same luxury may not exist after the COVID.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The whole lifestyle is going to change.
It's already changed actually. Yeah.
Market is going to change. Industry is going to change.
Yes.
Whole life is getting transformed.
Yes, yes.
So under such pressure conditions, it is more obvious to know the human potential, inner skills. They have more than outside. They have to go inside and find themselves there.
Yeah. They should. That's what
They have to find their own strength
identity.
there.
They should find their own identity.
Identity and their strength. They have strength, but they have to identify that and come out with robust personality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To sustain any drawbacks that is going to come. And they must be taught to how to adjust to the new environment, changing environment. That adjustment makes a lot of difference. That is where everybody is worried actually.
Yeah.
whole life is going to change.
Yes, sir.
How to adjust, because it is a dilemma. Money is very essential. It is required. Earning is not there. Jobs are not there. What I will do? This type of question mark. It is very, very difficult to go in and find solace there. But it is much needed. Some parent, it becomes parents' responsibility to.
Yes, they should realize that. That's what I'm telling. Yeah, they should realize that. They're thinking that, oh, if my son gets an engineering degree, he will get a job. Means that is, we are putting them in.
First thing parents should realize, then they have to transform that to the children. That is it.
They should also put the entrepreneurship into their mind. Work for 1 or 2 years, as Dr. Shivkumaran, I agree, because you should have some experience also. Immediately, if you become entrepreneur, also is a problem. 1 or 2 years, they should work for somebody. Like Marwadis, Marwadis, they will have crores of rupees business, but they will not put their son into their business. You might have seen. They would have sent it to somebody, he has to sweep this floor, and to the other person, he will do every menial jobs, and then stage by stage he will be taught. After 2 or 3 years, he will be brought back to his company, and then slowly they start giving them. They never employ their own children into their own this thing. Marwadis, they are business people. That's why they are business people. What we do, if we have a father is a businessman, we try to pull them. That is wrong actually. Because they don't have that experience. Otherwise, if you are training them, that is okay. If you are not training them, it becomes a problem to them. So that is also, sustainability becomes a problem later also.
See, today's time, like the world is actually faced with a lot of complex set of, urgent crisis basically today, which basically is called unprecedented in the history of mankind, right?
Yeah.
So basically, because of one is extreme weather change, the other one is people had to go for has to face a lot of world over. It is the pandemic which is infected, and the basic it is not only when we say unprecedented, it is not just merely reference to the overlapping and interlocking layers of crisis, but it is actually a lot of challenges which entire world has gone through today. One is, like today, if you look at as of January 2021, the number of people infected with COVID-19 are above has surpassed 99 million people, and who has died is more than 2 million people who has died. Okay? And if you compare the number of COVID-19 fatalities, it has exceeded the total number of claims by the large-scale natural disasters, which is over the past 20 years, whatever large-scale disasters which have occurred, which is crossed that. COVID-19 alone has created that kind of disaster in the world today. And when we have faced this kind of one who has begun to fathom this deep of grave experience by a lot of people who have lost their loved ones in today's scenario. This pain is actually deepened by the fact that due to measures to prevent the spread of virus, so many of the victims have been basically what you call, they were not able to spend their final moments with their loved ones, dear and near ones today. And this has actually compounded the intensity of loss that has actually robbed people with a sense of closure, the breakdown of economic meltdown, and then has led to a lot of people actually losing, becoming bankruptcies, going through a lot of financial meltdown. And then, and this is one of the reasons which is actually led to pandemic. And post-pandemic, taking the pandemic and going further down the line is really, really challenging. Okay, so now when we look at all these challenges and then try to see what can be done, as some of them were saying, as Raja was talking about artificial intelligence and a lot of new technologies which are robbing of jobs, which are actually machine learnings, which are introduced in various companies. So even a car without a driver, everything is controlled by robotic, artificial intelligence and machine. So definitely, I mean, there is scarcity, and also there is other opportunities also which are rising in terms of IoT and a lot of other stuff, intelligence which is coming. But then the point is, as Raja was talking about, how do we take it forward in terms of creating that wealth for looking at next 5 years, 10 years down the line? How do we build ourselves? Taking all this crisis is something we need to look at really carefully, because see, today we maybe say at one point of time India was actually, last year they managed COVID very well, and we had never thought that India would go to for the second
More confidence.
strain, which never India thought that it would be in this position today.
Yes, yes.
But definitely, I mean, like everyone is directly or indirectly affected, and we are, as Indians, also are affected very, very badly during this time. The kind of population and the kind of infrastructure facilities which are not there in India. So definitely, as we need to, entrepreneurship becomes one of the important aspects which we need to start looking at it, is what I also feel.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. Reena madam.
Yes, sir. Raja sir, thank you. Thank you for a good stimulus early morning.
What is stimulus, sir? No response, sir.
No, lot of stimulus, lot of stimulus. It is like what they say, early morning, you get to hear good words, you know, vibrations coming in from the atmosphere. So these are the vibrations that are reaching into your ears early morning.
Okay, thanks a lot, madam. Thanks a lot.
Yes. My only thing is that what I'm sharing is now, as you are saying about pandemic, post-pandemic, what is the scenario? The scenario has changed. There's a new norm, and everybody says that. And it is not the scenario. What I feel is not going to be so desperate as people normally make it out to be.
Okay.
There is always what I feel is there will always be opportunities also from this new norm that is turning out to be. In a few months time, this is going to stabilize, and people are going to get used to this new norm and get on with their work.
Yeah, definitely. Adaptability is important, madam. Adaptability is important.
Yes, they will need to adapt, and they will adapt, because they will have no other option in front of them.
Definitely.
They will need to pick up this new norm and make it as a part of their daily routine.
Yeah.
And yes, and as regards jobs being lost, yes, jobs are being lost, and then you have a lot of automation coming up. A lot of automation will take up the menial jobs, the human jobs in the future too. But again, the bright side of it is, when you are working from working at a sitting at one particular place, you are saving upon your time, you're saving upon your resources, you are saving upon your financial money in not traveling.
Yes.
And you are saving up, and companies are saving lot of companies nowadays are saving so much on their extra cost.
Yes.
The overhead cost that would normally be come on to them. I will tell you, for instance, my daughter, she's doing her internship with a firm, and she started off, and she used to go every morning and then come back in the evening, and she had an office plush office in an upscale area, Bandra over here. Now what has happened is that after the pandemic and work from home culture has started with them, they have shut down that office. They have moved out from there. Yes. And they have taken a very small closet area in one very downtown area, where the rental cost and overhead costs are not so much.
Yes,
so the company is also saving upon money.
Yeah.
And where an employee was spending about 10,000, 15,000 in commuting and his traveling expenses and food expenses and extra entertainment expenses, all that has cut down. He is saving upon that also. So you see at the other side of it. Oh, picture is not so dismal.
Yeah.
People can still, now with this, people are still managing, and they can manage.
Yes. So, but my point was, madam, see, now we are setting the children for the same way of doing engineering or doctorate or whatever it is, the professional courses or whatever we are doing it, they will not have the same potential what they were getting a few years before. That it will become scarce, and it will become more scarce, and then there will be a precarious condition where they cannot come out of it also, because they are so addicted to the certification. They have not come out of that. That's what I want to say that. So the parents should also realize that.
Yes. So that is adaptability. That will take some time. They will adapt. They will have to adopt. They will have no other option.
No other option. That is also.
But the
prevention is better than cure, no, madam.
But it's all become technology dependent, and like going forward in terms of the human bond, the human touch is missing.
That we are losing. That we are losing. Yes.
It's all good as of now in terms of the way people are managing, because it is forced to manage now, and now that becomes a new norm. But after certain times, this is going to create a lot of other ailments in the human life, which is going to be a much looks like a much bigger in terms of stress and strains and a lot of other mental problems, which might.
There is a prediction by 2025, nearly 25 to 30% of world population will be psychic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because what Reena said, saving of expenditure, working from home, saving energy of commuting, so many things, plus points is there. But when we focus on the other side of it, isolation, because of this, any older generation like us and Shiv Kumar sir, or even Anil and Chandru, or Raja, we have seen the earlier days, before TV, before phone.
Yes.
Those days we have seen, and that used to be the happiest moment of our life.
Yes.
Now, as the technology grew, we adjusted. We adjusted to the new norms. Telephone came, then TV came, then automobiles improved. Buying capacity of a person, in our time, buying a car was a dream. Buying a bike was a dream. 10,000 rupees Vespa scooter was a dream. Yeah. So now 1 lakh, without any money, you can go to a market and buy a car and come back in a car. So this type of facility, everything increased. But we all have observed that human value has gone down. We are unable to. Yesterday, I was listening to Atal Bihari Vajpayee's one speech, which is going viral all over media. In that he says, we पानी में तैरना सीख लिया, चांद पे जाके पाँव रख दिया, लेकिन धरती पर रहना भूल गए. People are forgetting how to live with one another.
Great statement, sir. Great statement.
So this type of, human value, if it is lost, any technical facility is of no use.
Yes.
Even yesterday, I was in a webinar where a young boy, he was giving the prediction, what the life will be in 2025, 2050, 2100. So he was explaining how the technology is going to grow. By 2025, he told future there need not be any education after engineering.
Oh.
There will be a chip which will be planted in your body.
Oh.
You feed the problem, it will give you result. You need not go to engineering college and study engineering.
Good thing, at least engineering colleges will not.
Nothing, no education is required. That capsule will answer all your questions. Even your brain need not be used to the full extent. See, this type of technology, yes, it may help. Every invention, every technology has helped human life. But at the same time, it has caused damage to the human life.
Yeah.
Take smartphone, your mobiles and other things. It is giving a lot of facility, to contact distant places and other things. But even a computer can be seen in a mobile. But the towers which are all around our existence.
Yeah.
That radiation effect, how it is affecting the human life, nobody is bothered. We are taking, everything for granted. But at the same time, technology is giving comforts, but at the same time, it is damaging our life also.
Yes.
When I learned, that the future, the psychic, this one will be there, and the way it is, guiding us to isolation. Even in family, 4 people are in phone place with 4 laptops.
Yeah. There is no communication.
There's no time to say hello also.
Yes.
Earlier, I used to complain. When I was in factory, I used to stand and discuss general matters, and we used to gossip, and we should do. We used to spend our evenings together with our neighbors, and now I don't find time to say hello to next neighbor. But today, even I have to take appointment with my son to talk to him.
Yeah, very much true.
So it is very difficult to adjust also. But we have to adjust anyway. There is no other go.
Yeah.
But one has to realize that where we are heading, and we have to adjust. A lot of adjustment need to be done.
Yeah, well said, Narendra sir. Thank you, Raja sir, for the great session. Good morning.
Thank you, Prabha. Thank you.
Sorry, I joined a bit late. Hello, sir. So in continuation of what Narendra sir was saying, right? Yeah, I mean, technology is something that is, overwhelming, but that's not something that has really taken away the human jobs. That's what I would say, because 10, 15 years back when computers were coming in, that's the same fear we all had. But then even now, I don't think so. There is a dearth for human job. There are few things that humans only can do. And who are going to build these machines, right? I mean, at the end of the day, humans have to be, machines are not going to build themselves. Okay, artificial intelligence and all that. But artificial intelligence at the end, artificial intelligence is what? Artificial intelligence is built on some data which is there. What is the data? Who fits in the data? Human has to fit in the data. So there is obviously some, a human touch behind all these technology. On a lighter note, I used to tell, the technology dependency that we have these days. We rely on all these machines, right? Starting from our oximeter, thermometer, all digital ones and all that stuff, right? These are all what? Programs, right? I mean, the moment our oximeter shows it's 98, we are all happy. The moment it shows 88, we get panic. But then that 88 might be a programming error in that oximeter.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we don't think that way. The moment we see 88,
Get panic.
the moment we see 88, we get panic. We kind of lose the trust on us, but we trust the machine more.
Yeah.
That is
Right?
it. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right.
That is where this whole thing boils down to, right? I mean, a very classic example, somewhere in WhatsApp it came that, they are now coming up with restaurants where robots are serving, right?
Yeah.
What, I mean, personally, if you ask me, yeah, for just for the experience sake, I will visit that restaurant once, but not ever. Why do we go to a restaurant, right? I mean, we obviously want that hospitality,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And how happy we feel in the middle of our meal. I'm not sure how many of you have experienced, very frequently Barbecue Nation. If you had visited, very frequently that person will come and ask you, how spicy is your food? Do you want more spicy? How happy you feel about it, right? And do you feel we will get the same experience with robots out there? No. There is no human touch out there. I mean, you are, at the end of the day, for these kind of things, obviously we need human beings. And, at some point of time, I still strongly believe whatever technology comes, we use it. We all still remain in the, mankind bucket. But then we abuse it. That's when we get kind of, much more into the psychic state.
I agree with Prabha sir. I agree. Yes, Prabha sir. Yes, I agree with you over there that whatever said and done, even if we advance towards, inventions and getting new automation in our day-to-day life and day-to-day procedures, but still at the end of it, who's going to be supervising all these functions is a human being.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, yes, the human beings, the touch will always be there. And, and let us not forget that when we first started, when, I'm talking way back during the primitive times. So can we say that, when they were devoid of any technology, when they were devoid of any machine around them, can we say that that was the ultimate life? No.
No, yeah.
We have advanced over them. From there, slowly technology came into our life and, in our various aspects, and we progressed. But then obviously there are always two sides to everything that is happening. There will always be a plus point and there will always be a minus points.
Minus, yes, absolutely.
So can we say that what a man was 300 years back or 1000 years back or 400 years back, was he much better than what we are now? Can we say that? Can we say that the human beings, when they were there 300 years back or 500 years back or 600 years back, they were much better than us? No, because
No.
technology definitely has helped us.
Yes.
Helped us, yes.
But then, so which is what I'm saying, that there is always a minus and plus to every aspect.
Right. It all
You-
depends
you
on
have
how you
to-
use and abuse it.
Yes, you have
Yeah.
taken up, you have come a long way since then.
Right. Yeah.
It has shown you, it has given you something, but yes, there is a downside to every aspect that one
Right.
cannot overlook. So
Correct.
that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
why
yeah.
that is why we people will come into the picture, not trainers. We will
Exactly.
provide that healing touch. We will provide that healing touch to people who need it.
But
Absolutely.
I really forgot to tell you that is where as a coach, we have got so much of potential to imbibe those values into the human.
Yes, yes.
That is most important actually.
Yeah.
We have got a great place to do that also. As a-
Right. Absolutely. I was just recollecting one of my friends who was kind of finding it very difficult to accept these technologies, right? I mean, he was not using a smartphone. He was still using that old style phone. He was saying, all you guys are kind of proven wrong using all this technology and all that.
Yeah.
But then, as Anil sir said, the pandemic thing has pushed him to use a smartphone, because now he is scared of using currency notes, because things pay through currency notes as well. He has to use Google Pay, right? So, so he was like talking to me last month saying, Prabha, there is no other option. So I was like, yeah, that's fair. At some point of time, it's good to talk. You guys are overridden by technology, but then we have to go that way. There is no other option we are left with.
Yes.
If things are going that way, we have to use it. But that doesn't mean that you are getting overridden by technology. As long as you use it to your advantage, it helps you. The moment you start using it to your disadvantage, then that's when you get overridden by technology.
Yes.
So that was one point I had, Raja sir. In connection to that entrepreneur thing that I had a small story. Sorry if I'm not taking much time of the session. So I obviously, as Raja sir, you rightly said, we all get kind of tied up with our job, right? Most importantly these days, the IT job and all that stuff. We are so crazy about it, a great package and all that. But I feel like, to be very honest, at least in the interaction that I had, more than 70% of the IT crowd, they stay there just to pay their EMIs.
Yeah.
Not their passion.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
And in that 70%, I am also including myself. This is not my passion, to be very honest. Okay?
Yeah.
Just because of the pressure from my parents, just because of the pressure from the society, 20 years back, I got into the industry. And because of all various reasons, I'm still continuing. But then my passion had always been, into music, into fine arts, into teaching, all that stuff. Okay. Probably I would have lived up to my passion if I had gone there 20 years back, but then I'm living there. But then in the interactions with my team members, whenever I get to interact with them, I encourage them to live with their passion, right? And they kind of continue to, listen to me, some of them, but then some of them, they continue to be in the IT world, irrespective of what we talk.